Hello! Remember when we reviewed the Heat 1 Civic Cruiser for Need for Speed World and Sparkserver? This is the Heat 2 version. And it's basically the same. It really is the same. It functions the same, it drives the same, it performs the same, it acts the same. It looks the same except for the markings. If you've already seen that one, you're basically seeing the same information again. So if you want to hang around, do. If you don't, I don't blame you. Anyway, I am going to take it on an event or two like I did last time. Casual review of the Heat 2 Civic Cruiser. The later ones will obviously be different because it involves different vehicles. So, taking a look around, we have the same Heat 1 Civic Cruiser, but it's gray because it's the unmarked one. That is, that I can tell, the only difference. I will theorize that technically, in normal gameplay on a normal server, without anything modified, these unmarked cruisers are supposed to be a little bit heavier in collisions than the marked ones. Not by a whole lot. It's not very noticeable, but it is there. I've seen it documented, so if this has been replicated as the playable vehicle correctly, it would theoretically have a little bit more collision force, which is already very high in the marked version. One other thing you'll note, or see, if you really, really have a sharp eye, it took me a long time to notice this is true, the glass surrounding the light bar is missing. That's a weird thing to say, but if I stop just spinning this thing around smoothly and get you a better view, there is supposed to be clear glass around this unit. The whole thing's actually exposed where the LEDs are. I don't know why that's the case. It's just an error importing it to being a playable vehicle or converting it or however they've done it. Very, very subtle, but it is there. It's worth noting. So, this is the vehicle. Again, a lot of the content of this is going to be basically the same as the Heat 1 version because it is almost identical. So, with that, let's go. Let's take a little drive. The game's going to freeze up like it always does for the first second or two. Don't understand it. Moving on. Get my license plate back by crashing with damage on and turn off damage because it looks ugly and I hate it. And we'll take a little drive around for a moment, show you that, yeah, it's pretty. Nice car, unmarked version of that Heat 1 Civic Cruiser because it's the Heat 2 Civic Cruiser that's unmarked. It is just going to be me saying that a lot, basically. Here it is. I like it. I like the unmarked version. That I know it performs the same, and I will actually show you in terms of like this little viewer guy here, 837, 921, and 595. That's top speed, acceleration, handling, respectively. If you scroll over to the marked version, it's the same. It actually, it is like the same the way it's been converted. Both register at 784 overall, so they're S-Class vehicles. And other than that, they work well. They're nice. You'll see why I've been mentioning that in some later videos about vehicles working well or not. It gets interesting. But for now, here it is. Nice little unmarked car. Very, very similar to the Heat 1 vehicle. So, let's go take it on a race, and I wanted to do Highway 99 in State for no specific reason. While I'm doing that, I won't demonstrate it this time because we've already gotten into our single-player lobby, but I'll mention these AI vehicles don't work in multiplayer. Just not at all, and I missed my perfect start, like always. Oh well. Yeah, you can't use these in multiplayer. You can in private matches, which is, it's nice. If you're playing with friends and you're in a group, you can do a private match, and that won't be an issue. Yeah, good functional S-Class vehicle. It's not literally like super insanely unfair, ultra mega fast, but it just sort of behaves like a good mid-grade S vehicle. The handling's pretty good, maybe a little bit of oversteer, depending on the angle of a corner. Shallow ones like this aren't a problem, but if you take a sharper corner, you may find if you're not careful, you'll end up spinning out from some of that oversteer. So something to watch for there, but otherwise handling's pretty good. Acceleration and top speed are very, very nice. It feels reasonably fair to play with. I mean, single player. You're going against the eyes. It doesn't matter. And you can't use it multiplayer. So there's that. And I have actually tried to record this video 3 or 4 times now, and I keep running into issues. So I forget if I've mentioned, and I really should do this at the beginning like I did with the first one. This is an donor-exclusive vehicle on Sparkserver. I'm not affiliated with them. I am not encouraging you to donate. If you're interested, which is your own choice, it's like you're supposed to do a minimum of $5. Information's on Discord. Blah, blah, blah. You get access to the assortment of AI vehicles that I will be reviewing. Where are we at? 85% for this event. I haven't even been focused on driving very, very well, but that's okay. That's not super important for this. Hopefully this gives you a nice impression of just kind of what these cars are like, or it's just something to do, something to watch. I enjoy using them. I think they're fun, which I'm sure is clear from some of the other videos I made about other methods of accessing these on different servers through like memory editing stuff, which just gets a little weird. But anywho, let's do one more thing. I'll throw in a Team Escape as well. Again, similar to the Heat 1 Civic Cruiser, this has... Oh yeah, okay, the lobby is starting. I don't know why that confused me. Anywho, this does have wonderfully powerful collision force. Just excessive. Boom! Look at that. There he goes. Way into the stratosphere. Oh, I love using these cars. Oh, Team Escapes just make me so happy, and then they seriously do. It's silly. It's sort of over the top and obnoxious like myself. And yeah, it's a lot of fun to just crash through these, especially... Again, on Sparkserver, Team Escapes are not class restricted, so you can go to these ones that have a very long time to get through because they were made for lower classes, and these fast, strong cars, and just shred your way through it. My favorite bit's actually coming up in a minute, the bit on the large highway up here where there's just rows and rows of roadblocks. So, yeah, high collision force. Oh, I missed most of them. I wanted to crash through every roadblock, but oh well. I just love using these. It's so weird. It's silly. It's too much. It's excessive. It's lovely. There, that rhino goes rolling. Feels kind of funny playing these two, because I also, when I was back on the WUGG server, I'd been, playing through these sort of regularly in regular vehicles. So it's a funny contrast. If you haven't seen that, you can, or don't. You're an adult. Figure it out. Anyway, let's go crash into... those guys. Oh, there's this roadblock coming up in a minute. This roadblock, that's not grammar. Boom. Oh, it's just too much fun. Anyway. I will point out, too, I've seen, like, I know there's some other people on YouTube that do generally, like, car reviews, and it's a little bit more formal and just sort of normal. Makes things, I don't know. I just haven't seen anyone do these AI cars that I've always liked. I finally found a server where you can actually get them in some way properly. Oops. Let's not crash into the wall. So, I thought it would be fun to do this as a series. And I've looked around. I haven't seen anyone else doing this other than very, very old videos from the original days of Need for Speed World when people would do various forms of modding or hacking to access these in some fashion. This is great. It's stable. It works well. It doesn't crash the game. It's not like some method where other people don't see it or something, and it's actually allowed. You can just buy these, so. Great perk of this server. I've been enjoying it. Yeah. Anyone that's curious, I think I demonstrated it at one point. The siren does function. I just have it off because I don't want that to drone on and get really repetitive, so that is out of the way for now. Let's use another Juggernaut. Crash our way through some more rhinos. Something I've noticed, too, the voice lines in this game are pretty good for being fairly closely related to what's happening, and I've noticed because these AI cars, at least these first two I've talked about, I don't want to give any secrets away for the next ones, for these two that are basically the same, they're so strong and fast, you end up hearing the voice lines sort of repetitively a lot about, crash, like, oh, you've destroyed, like, a bunch of cars in a roadblock, or, oh, we've got a huge wreck of a bunch of cars that are everywhere. You end up hearing those lines again and again and again and again and again because you're doing so much damage so quickly, which I just think that's kind of a funny little note. Anywho, as soon as we get done with this, we're going to wrap it up. I don't want these to be too long, and I know I'm not going over any real technical information, but I just thought this would be fun to do. So let's get our way to the end here. Oh, hello. That's not a good idea. Get out of my way. That's right. Alright. Where are we at? We got 2,000 feet. We are almost done with this one. Juke out the rhinos that way. Tap the back of that car. Tap the back of that car. And we are done. I hope you enjoyed. More to come. All the available AI police vehicles in this server. And I won't see you soon because I can't see you because it's a video. Goodbye.